Welcome back to Conspiracy Y, our 13th episode. On today's episode, we'll take a look at the mental background of Eric Holder, the convicted murderer of Nipsey Hussle. I'll read some articles, take a look, and give my opinion at the end. Let's go. In life, good things happen and bad things happen. But a certain group of people refuse to accept the findings of what happened. This is where the conspiracy is born. I'll be your host, Arthur Wells, through this journey of knowns and unknowns, information and misinformation of some of the world's most important solved and unsolved mysteries. Welcome to Conspiracy Y. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey Hussle was shot at least 10 times in the parking lot of his own store, Marathon Clothing, in South Los Angeles at 3:18 p.m. The perpetrator also kicked Nipsey Hussle in the head. 2 others were wounded in the shooting. All 3 victims were transported to a hospital, where Nip was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. He was only 33 years old. Police identified then 29-year-old Eric Ronald Holder Jr. as the suspect. Investigators believe Holder was known to the rapper and that the shooting was possibly motivated by a personal matter. On April 2nd, 2019, Holder was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department and was being held in solitary confinement. On May 9th, a grand jury indicted Holder on 1 count of murder, 2 counts each of attempted murder, and assault with a firearm, and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a felon. After a couple of postponements, the trial got underway in mid-June of 2022. Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney John McKinney served as the case prosecutor, while Aaron Jansen served as head of the defense. Holder's attorney argued that he did not intend to kill Hussle, but he had acted in the heat of the moment. McKinney argued he thought about it and did it. That's all premeditation means. It doesn't mean he planned it for weeks. Testimony at the trial established that immediately before Holder shot Nipsey, the 2 men argued over a rumor that Holder had cooperated with law enforcement in an unrelated matter. On July 6, 2022, Holder was found guilty of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter relating to the injuries he caused to the bystanders. Key point, so keep this in mind. During pre-trial hearings, Jansen argued that Holder had a history of mental health issues, including going under electroshock therapy. He said that Holder's mother had died shortly before the shooting, and that he was depressed after abruptly discontinuing his medication. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, is a psychiatric treatment where a generalized seizure is electrically induced to manage refractory mental disorders. Typically, 70 to 120 volts are applied externally to the patient's head, resulting in approximately 800 milliamperes of direct current passing between the electrons for a duration of 100 milliseconds to 6 seconds. Either from temple to temple or from front to back of one side of the head. However, about only 1% of the electrical current crosses the bony skull into the brain because the skull impedance is about 100 times higher than skin's impedance. The ECT procedure was first conducted in 1938 by an Italian psychiatrist, Ugo Cerletti, and rapidly replaced less safer and effective forms of biological treatment in use at the time. ECT is often used with the informed consent as a safe and effective intervention for major depressive disorder, mania, and catatonia. ECT machines were originally placed in the Class 3 category by the United States FDA in 1976. They were reclassified as Class 2 devices for treatment of catatonia, major depressive disorder, and bipolar disorder in 2018. Aside from effects on the brain, the general physical risks of ECT are similar to those of brief general anesthesia. Immediately following treatment, the most common adverse effects are confusion and transient memory loss. Alright, I'm gonna pick up from where the read left off. Why did Holder kill Nipsey? And first of all, why was he getting electroshock therapy? I'm gonna be real on this one. I really doubt that the LAPD, court system, and mental health providers really care much about Eric Holder's health and mental health. If that's the case, why don't they help out a lot of us in the urban communities and lower poverty income areas? I really doubt that. So why were they doing the electroshock therapy? I don't know. I think they did it to... Let's just read from the end of the last read. Immediately following treatment for most common adverse effects of... The most common adverse effects are confusion and transient memory loss. So he could have done this and not even know. Why would they want to take out Nip? I know a lot of people say they didn't like what he did for the neighborhood and for the urban environment, and just they didn't like his status in South Central. They just hated it for some reason. Now, they couldn't send a rival gang member to kill Nip. They needed someone that could get close, because no way possible, no one would believe that a rival gang member got that close to Nip even if they pulled it off. They had to send someone that can get close to him, someone that kind of knew him. And it goes back to what I was saying. Why would they care so much about Eric Holder Jr.'s mental health? First of all, I didn't even know they were still doing shock therapy in this day and time in 2022, or whenever you're listening to this. That shocked me. But it is going on in some small form or fashion in hospitals and jails around the country. I think it's more, they use it more for like the MK Ultra type thing. So when Nip was killed, Eric Holder said he don't really know why he did it. And if you listen to the interview with Cowboy, he said he want people to know that it really didn't have anything to do with a fuss. It really wasn't like that. So when you take what Cowboy said, because initially we thought they had a beef, like you're a snitch, you do this, you do that, man, get your paperwork right, and he got angry. Cowboy said it wasn't nothing like that. It was just a little, get that paperwork handled, boy, blah, 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 and they dapped each other off. So what triggered him to want to kill him? And it goes back to what I was saying about the electroshock therapy. I believe they did the electroshock therapy on Eric Holder and kind of MK Ultra'd him to do that to Nip. I know it's kind of hard to believe for some people. For some people that like, hey, he's spot on. Arthur Wells, you're doing your thing. You're spot on. I believe the same thing. So why would they take him out? We don't know. We're not really here for that. We know that he was taken out, and rest in peace to Nip. And this is in no way me giving Eric Holder out or an excuse. I hope he get whatever's coming to him, whatever God has in store for him for that murder. I hope he get the full extent of it. As Chappelle said one day, I hope all the bad things in life happen to him and nobody but him. But we have to get to the point of, do they have people out there MK Ultra with the electroshock therapy killing people that we love, or people we don't love, just in general? You're killing people in a manner of which is just unbelievable to some people. So Eric Holder, in my opinion, was sent by some forces in LAPD. Wouldn't be the first time that the LAPD in the South Central Los Angeles Police Department or whatever has done horrible things to the people in the urban community. So that's not a surprise at all. But in my heart of hearts, I believe Eric Holder Jr. was doing electroshock therapy to MK Ultra him to kill Nipsey Hussle. That's just my opinion. Put something in the comments. Let me know why you think they were doing electroshock therapy on a guy that they would consider a thug. He was a convicted felon. They would consider him a thug and pretty much the scum of the earth. Why were they so concerned about getting his mental health right with shock therapy? So in conclusion, I'll say it again. I believe powers in LAPD sent Eric Holder to kill Nipsey Hussle for the good things he was doing in the community, and he was pretty much giving them a big middle finger. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Until next time, and thanks for watching. I've been your host, Arthur Wells. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit up that comment section and let me know if I'm barking up the right tree with the electroshock therapy used on Eric Holder. Once again, thanks for watching. Conspiracy Y.